Today I'm going to tell you a little story about a man that I met, and this man was so spectacular. His name was Earl. Earl was just, let me just tell you the story. So, as y'all know, I'm Daisy, and I was out going to my friend's ranch, and my car started acting up. And when my car was acting up, well, it just kind of went putt and then it stopped on me. So I pulled over on the side of the road, and I was looking underneath the hood, which took me a moment to figure out exactly how to get that thing up and stuff, But anyway, I was looking underneath the hood, and this pickup truck pulled up behind me, and this nice gentleman, he got out and he said, "Can I help you, little lady?" And I was like, "Oh my God, well, sweet Jesus, yes, of course you can. My car stopped, and I just don't know how to, and I got to get to my girlfriend's house down the road, and I don't know what to do. Can you help me?" And he looked, and silly me, I had a flat tire. There was nothing underneath the hood, absolutely nothing under the hood that needed any help. It was just this flat tire. And so he changed my tire, but yeah, then, he was like, "Well, I want to make sure that you get right and everything. Let me check your other tires." And I had a nail in another tire, and he couldn't fix that because the tire was just all blown out. It was just all blown out. So he threw my tire in the back of his pickup, and he offered me a ride down the road to get my tire fixed, get a new tire, take me to my friend's house, all this good stuff. We're driving down the road, and oh my gosh, he was just the sweetest thing, just the sweetest thing. He was just telling me all these stories about his daddy's property and about the ranch that he had and his cows and his pigs and the rolling vistas. It was the rolling vistas, and oh my God, it was just amazing. He was planting me this beautiful, beautiful picture of this amazing life that we could have. And that day that I met Earl, it was just, what would be the word? Flabbergasting. That's the word. It was absolutely flabbergasting. And there I was, the sun coming over those rolling vistas with all the beautiful colors of the fall, and the wind was blowing, and he was telling me about how he wanted babies. I want babies. He wants babies. It's like a match made in heaven. What was I supposed to do? Oh, yeah, and then we talked about God. He's a good religious man, and my daddy would be really proud if I was with a good religious man, somebody that would take care of me, and somebody that, would provide all the things, and we talked about all this kind of stuff, and he just really, really had some beautiful plans. Earl. I love Earl. I just love Earl. Just absolutely love Earl. Doesn't he sound like a great guy? Oh, did I mention that he has a really nice pickup truck and a ranch and rolling vistas? Oh, yeah, the rolling vistas. Role play. That was Daisy. I've been teasing Earl about Daisy. There really isn't Earl. His name's not Earl. This similar tale actually happened a few weeks ago. The rolling vistas and all that. I'm not adding in all the other funny little stuff, but going deep into character. I mean, guys, I went actually deep into character. I sent Earl some pictures earlier just to show how deep into character Daisy was going today for you. And I'm trying not to catch into that. I was looking at properties to rent down in Mineral Wells, and I started reading the Mineral Wells stuff with this accent, and I'm like, there goes Daisy. Oh my goodness. But let me show you. This is what I'm looking like today. Here's my dress. See this? So, I'm really in character, right? Really in character. Even got the boots. Yep. Even got the boots. And role play is something that I used to never think that I would ever do. Role play. It's daring. It's vulnerable. It's intimate. It's funny as fuck. It's fun. It's spicy. It changes things up in a relationship for sure. And you have to be very, very vulnerable. to be able to do role play with your partner, to be able to do role play at all, to go deep into a character and to just let yourself be revealed at that level, it definitely opens up new terrains for the relationship. I guess we could say that it's just rolling vistas of terrains on a relationship, right? But I learned about this from a lover of mine years back. And I remember, oh my gosh, the things that he would put me through. I've now gotten to the point that you can basically throw me into any storyline anywhere and I could just go into it, because this lover of mine in the past, he, not Earl, but he used to throw me into all these different scenarios, where one time we were at the Gaylord. It was one of my favorite scenarios because it was just so fun. We're sitting at met him at the Gaylord for drinks. Romantic drinks, fire, all that kind of stuff. He's sitting at the bar. He's dressed in a nice business suit. There's a couple gentlemen sitting next to him. I come in dressed nice in this nice little sexy dress and everything. I walk up. I give him a kiss on the cheek. He grabs a hold of me. He gives me a bigger kiss and everything. These guys look at me and they're like giving me this look. And I sit down and he orders me a drink and we start talking. And then he goes into the whole process that he has told these two gentlemen who were from Florida, business owners in Florida, that who I was and what I did for a living. And I was just sitting there and I'm drinking my martini and I was like, oh, okay, we're role playing. Okay, so I don't remember what my name was. I believe I turned myself into Sydney in that moment. Tends to be my high-end escort name that I like to use in role play, Sydney. So I ended up probably being Sydney in this moment. And I ended up being, what he had told them was that I was his regular high-end escort here in Dallas when he is in town, that, here on business, that he comes and, of course, he connects with me. We go out, we are out on the town, all this kind of stuff. And I had to give this whole storyline. And they're asking me questions of, how did you get into the profession? How did you do this? What made you choose this? Why is your clientele like? All this kind of stuff. And I'm just, I'm feeding them lines of bullshit left and right, and I had to just kind of play with it, and I had to change my personality. And then I've also been Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. That was one of our main characters. Absolutely loved doing that. All these different things would take place. Role play was definitely a piece of that. And back then I had a little bit more of a challenge doing role play. Now I find it really, really fun. Granted, it took me a little bit of deep breathing to get on here and to do this in front of you guys, because I was like, oh my gosh, am I really going to do this? I had to talk myself into going into Daisy in front of you here on the camera. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't take this back. It's recorded. Well, I guess I could delete it, but I'm not going to. It's fun, right? It's fun. And I was thinking about it. I was just like, the other week when we were driving home from camping, and he goes into this deep accent and character, and I watched his body language change, and I watched his facial expressions change, and I watched everything about the man that I know so well completely change into a different person in front of me while he was driving. And it had me cracking up. It had my heart just opening so much more, because I do understand the vulnerability that it takes there. But it just made me desire him all the more, because it was playful. There was humor, there was play, there was attractiveness, there was all this kind of stuff that was going on, that was rising up inside of me by just witnessing him in this character role. So since then, I've teased him about Daisy. Now my 14-year-old son, Levi, as you guys all know, he came up with this really, I think I'm going to do it. I know that he's going to be embarrassed when I do this. Earl will be embarrassed, but I'm going to do this whole Daisy is going to be daughter wife. I know that's bad, isn't it? That's really, really bad. But I can just see us going to a really nice restaurant and me going, oh, my daddy loves it when I do this, and my daddy loves it when I do that, and just completely going off on that and talking about how he's training me to be a really good woman, a really good wife. He's telling me exactly and teaching me step by step exactly what to do to make men happy, to make my future husband happy. He is showing me everything. I was really want to mess with him. Of course, he's on here right now, so that's spoiler alert. Here, I knew that though. But yeah, so my purpose behind sharing this with you guys today is that I know that at this time of the year, and with COVID and with all the shutdowns and with all the tension in the air and a lot of different things, here it is winter. We always shut our lives down around winter anyways. We're saving money, we're doing all this kind of stuff. And I have people come to me and they say, what do I do? How do I spice up my relationship? What can I do to entice my partner? What can I do to really do something different? And we think, oh, I gotta go rent a freaking penthouse and buy all these roses and buy the most expensive bottle of wine and do this. And how can I do this right now? COVID's got it all shut down. I can't go to the shows. I can't go here. I can't go there. Maybe I don't have the money for it, what have you. And the reality is that the best things either cost very little or nothing at all. It's about our creative energy and our desire to share ourselves and to be vulnerable and intimate with the ones that we love, with the ones that we are in that intimate relationship with. So the more we are vulnerable, the more we share of ourselves, the more we allow ourselves to play, because I can tell you what, any good, strong, stable relationship has play in it. Okay? If your relationship's not playful, then it's boring as fuck, and that's going to cause you some issues. It's going to cause your partner to basically not desire to be around you that much. Now, I'm not talking about being playful to the extent of, not being able to hold your responsibilities, not being able to do certain things. But what I am talking about is looking for those opportunities to create space for adventure, adventurous dates, adventurous moments in home, adventure between the two of you. We did this whole role play. He was Earl. I was not Daisy in that moment. I don't remember exactly well. I think I was pretending that I had gotten picked up on, that I was a hitchhiker or something. I went along with that, but I kept my personality for the most part, and he went into deep role. And we just did it right there, driving the car home, down the roads in the middle of Oklahoma. There we go. And we were talking about Oklahoma, and we were talking about the land and everything. And then he went into this deep character. But it was just in that moment. We do not realize how many moments we miss to connect, to be playful, to be intimate, to build the relationship. These things that we look for, we want deeper connection, we want all this stuff with our partner, but we think that we don't have the time for it. We think that we don't have the ability to give it, to create it, and that's just not true. We have more than enough time to create these little moments to connect and to allow ourselves to be more open, to be more in our hearts, more playful, more connected with our partners than what we even realize. But it's looking for those moments. It's looking for them in the moment to moment, the day to day things. What do your text messages look like? Are they just, hey, honey, will you grab some milk and bread and bring it home? Hey, the power bill's due tomorrow. Did you make sure that this was taken care of? Did you put air in the tire? Or is it just as simple as hey, how was your day? Or are you actually having conversation? Are you actually being playful with each other? We never should stop flirting. Okay? Number one trick to phenomenal sex is court each other. This is not just the man courting the woman here. This is both parties, okay? Both partners need to court each other actively 24/7. That is, if you're dating, if it's a long distance relationship, or if you've been together for 20 years, sleeping underneath the same roof, raised kids and all that kind of stuff, then you should be courting each other still 24/7, okay? That doesn't mean every single moment engaged together, but what it does mean is to make contact, to send little things. I can tell you what, I'm one of those people that actually right before I did this, I was taking pictures of Daisy. I'm like, hey, I should do a little bit of photo shoot. I got 10, 12 pictures on my phone now. I can go back, I can edit them, I can crop them, I can do all these kind of things, and I can trickle those out over the next 3 months to my partner, and it's just playful. I have it in my background right here, right there, where I can just pop it right up there and share it at any given moment. And that's what we should be doing. Ladies, guys love imagery, okay? It's something that they just love. It's also just give a little bit. We do intimacy, vulnerability shares. When was the last time that you actually really broke down and got into your heart center and shared something that might be a difficult conversation to have with your partner? I can tell you what, those difficult conversations can actually be pretty damn sexy, because when we share those pieces of ourselves, when we start to let ourselves be revealed, this is where we take our relationships from a surface level into a deep connective level. This is where we build the bonds in the relationship that are unbreakable. We have surface level relationships. The majority of marriages out there, the majority of long-term relationships out there, and sure as fuck the majority of dating out there is all on a surface level. We can take it or leave it at any instance. It's okay to be fickle. It's okay to, I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really care because I don't have anything invested in it. Yet we will proclaim over and over again, oh my gosh, this is the one for me. Oh my gosh, I'm so heartbroken. Oh my gosh, I'm so invested here. But it is a bunch of crap because we're not really that invested because we went surface level in the relationship. We didn't actually let ourselves be revealed, let ourselves be heard, let ourselves be seen, and we weren't willing to hear, see, and receive, hold space for the other person. So I ask you today, where in your relationship, maybe everywhere, and if you really want some good sex, and if you really want connection, and if you really want commitment, if you're really looking for the one, and you're wanting to have that connection with the one, well, the one is going to demand from you to level up your game just a little bit and to actually go deep. Now, play. As much as that might seem like it's not that deep, it is deep because we have had play trained out of us. We live in a world where it's pretty much not okay to play. That's not responsible. What will people think? What will they say? What if my partner looks at me this way? What if my partner looks at me that way? And the reality is that play is exactly what is needed. The more playful we get, the more connected we get, the more in tune to ourselves, and the more aligned to the universe we are. We live in a playful universe. Energy is playful, okay? And if you've ever been to any of my classes, I will tell you that again and again, and I will show you that again and again, that if you're into energetics, if you want to know about energy orgasms and you want to know about energetic connections, then you've got to get into the game of play because energy is playful. That is how it moves through us. Orgasm is playful. I'm not just talking about the physical orgasm. I'm talking about orgasm in life. Living that orgasmic life, living that fuck yes life. It's not boring. It's not just this steady line of nothingness. No flat lines in energy. That doesn't happen. Energy likes to move. It likes to be playful. It likes to swirl. It likes to twirl. It likes to do the things that you probably really want to do too, which is get out there and let yourself be revealed. But you're scared to do it, right? You're scared to reveal yourself. Wow, squirrels are running. They're playful. I encourage you today to really look at your relationships. And look at that intimate relationship, or if you're not in an intimate relationship right now, but you want to get into an intimate relationship, for all you single folk out there, I want you to look at where is it that you just allowed relationships in the past to do this? Where is it that you had this expectation on the front side that, yeah, I can be playful on the front side to try to get them in, but then it's not okay after a certain point? Did you notice how the relationship went like this and then just crashed? How it just after like 18 months, 2 years, maybe 3 years, it just started to die out, and then the sex just wasn't that great, the connection just wasn't that great, and next thing you know, the only thing you shared in common was a Netflix series and paying bills? Yeah, that's because you didn't keep the sizzle there. You didn't keep play there. You didn't keep creativity there. Relationship demands for us, both parties, to be creative and open and playful. And that is how we build deeper connection. So look at your relationships. Look at the one that you have. Gentlemen, I know that I hear from you a lot. Well, I don't have any creative energy. I'm not really a romantic type person. All that kind of stuff. She's the one that's romantic. She's the one who's this, I buy her flowers every now and then. And every woman probably loves flowers. Most women do. I love flowers. But you know what? It's more than flowers. It's more than a nice dinner. Guess what? Dinner dates are cool and all, but dinner dates are boring. Okay? It's great for a nice conversation. It's great for a nice piece of steak. It's great for a nice glass of wine. It should be done every now and then, but making an adventure out of things is a lot better. Okay? And there is tons of stuff out there for you to do. Tons of events, and I'm not talking about music events or plays, although those are also great. I'm telling you to get into your minds, into your hearts, into your creative souls. If you have to, go Google friendly on all the creative dates out there. I was just talking about the thrift shop date. I think that that's a fun thing. I have not ever done that, and it's a goal of mine to go to a thrift shop, spend 20-30 bucks each, and dress each other, and then go out to a nice dinner and everything, dressed in whatever clothing that we end up putting each other in. I'm a little nervous, but it is about those butterflies, okay? Because those butterflies, they're arousing. Those butterflies, that's also turn on. That's what gets our energy moving. We should have butterflies going in our relationship. And when we get so close and so comfortable with somebody and we let things go to a surface level, what ends up happening is we no longer have butterflies. But remember the first stages of love? Remember that first kiss? Remember that first touch? Remember all those firsts? When your heart just felt like it was going to leap out of your chest, and just the thought of him or her touching you, or their breath or their smell, just made everything inside of you ignite, or you got a butterfly feeling at the thought of knocking at their door or meeting them someplace. Yeah, that is that turn on. That is those connective juices. And in order to keep those things alive, we have to work at it. Okay? We have to work at it. We have to start to look at space for it. If we allow our work life, our children, our bills, and all the responsibility in life get in the way, then the relationship goes to the back burner. And once we put that relationship, our primary relationship, on the back burner, and then we don't have time for it, then what's that really saying? It's saying that's not really primary, right? And I'm not talking about open relationships, monogamous relationships, anything. I'm talking about relationship in general. Your primary relationship should be your significant other, okay? And you two should be connected and hooked up in that fashion, in a primary fashion, which means putting focus into the relationship. But that does not mean that you allow everything else to get in the way. Create the space. Take the time each week to sit down and do some brainstorming on different things that you can do. If you don't know where to go, guess what? There's books, there's videos, there's coaches, there's people out there, there's ideas available to you for you to go ahead and have really great creative ideas to connect with your partner. All you have to do is have a desire to want to connect with your partner. And that's truly the biggest question that you have to ask yourself. Do I want this level of connection, this level of play, this level of intimacy and vulnerability with my primary partner, that significant other person that you're dating, that you're living with, that you're married to, that you've had kids with, whatever it is, right? Do you really want it? Or are you just going to let life just go and sit back and go, I'm so bored. I just don't feel desired. I just don't know if she is into me anymore. Maybe they're cheating on me. Yeah, all those things, you wonder about them. You don't get a right to bitch if you're not ready and willing and have the desire to commit and to connect to your partner and to do the work yourself. That means each person needs to step out of their comfort zones, because doing stuff like this is not in the comfort zone. It isn't. It's not in the comfort zone. That's how we get the butterflies, to get out of the comfort zone, right? It's not comfortable. It's daring, but it is so damn good. It is so damn good. So I encourage you to look for ways to think about things that excite you, that are thrilling. What's something that's a little out of your comfort zone that you're willing to go and explore this weekend with that person? How can you make them laugh? How can you give them just a little bit of a healthy shock? How can you bring butterflies into the relationship? What's something that you can really do that would be so heart-opening, so eye-opening, letting somebody in just a little bit more? Think about that. Okay, so Daisy here. Can I get back into character? I don't know. Y'all, I just don't know if I can do it or not. Yep, there we go. I think I'm drinking grass too. Miss Addison Bell brought me some grass from her cows, and she blended it up for me this morning. Yep, she blended it up. It's got a little subtle taste of I think she accidentally got a little manure in there. I don't know. Good thing she put some ginger in there too, because that's covering it up. And probably going to kill a little bit of the bacteria from the manure too. I don't know. I hope she didn't put anything else in there. You know, there's some funny things that grow in cow manure. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes though, right? If I have some moments, then we'll know what she put in the grass. Yep, that green stuff. But I hear that it's good for you. I really do. I hear that it makes you smell good and taste good and all that kind of stuff. It makes your blood healthy, puts lots of oxygen in your blood. I don't know how oxygen gets in your blood though, because isn't blood like liquid and thick and stuff? And how does air get into the blood? And see, it's just having a little bit of fun. You can go on the storylines. You can create. You can be goofy. You can be stupid. You can be highly intelligent. You can be sensual, sexy, whatever character. Play with it. Play with who you are. Get to know you. Become comfortable in your own skin. And that's what it ultimately comes down to, right? Becoming comfortable in your own skin. Loving yourself enough. Loving who you are to let different aspects of you be revealed. All right, on that note, stop accepting average and ordinary in your lives, in your relationships, in your sex, in everything. Stop accepting boring as normal or the way it's supposed to be, because it's not. Life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be easy. The universe does have your back. It is here to support you. You can have the relationship of your dreams. You can have the life that you want to manifest, but it's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone. And here we are, getting out of comfort zone to have a little bit of play in life, in the bedroom, outside the bedroom, maybe just driving down the road, whatever. But you got to get out of your comfort zone. At the end of the day, any good thing that you want to create in life is going to demand you to do something. And that something is be bold and get out of your comfort zone. Okay? So, on that note, go get out of your comfort zone. Make those things that are familiar, unfamiliar, and the things that are unfamiliar, familiar. And through that passageway, you will create the life that you want. Remember, stop existing. Start living. You deserve, you are worthy of a fuck yes life. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. I don't think I'll be Daisy, though. I don't know. Would you guys like to see Sydney? No, you guys don't get to see Sydney until Earl meets Sydney. And I think that Sydney might charge Earl like $5,000 or something for a night. I mean, I am hot. Oh, but she doesn't sound like that. I got to come up with a really good voice for Sydney. Sydney's a hot redhead. Yeah, curls, red hair. Yeah, she flaunts it. She takes control. She's a little dominatrix. A little bit of bad girl. Yep. She's got some killer ass boots and a whip. That's Sydney. Yep. It's going to be fun. And she is high end. So there we go. $5,000 for a night. I think that's a good idea, right? Okay. I love you guys. Catch you tomorrow.